Chat on Newsday Amarillo and News Channel 10-2. I'm David Lovejoy.
I'm Chuckalicious, Chuck Williams.
And today is part of an awareness month, Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And the great folks at Family Support Services that do so many great things across our community are here to talk about the awareness of this. Today, Miss Michelle Shields joins us from Family Support Services. Good morning, Mrs. Shields. How are you doing today?
Good morning. It's a wonderful foggy Monday.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. One of the things we talk about, we deal with family support services on lots of different things, everything from domestic violence to advocacy for children. But this one is really mind blowing. When we look at the stats and the numbers, and we were talking off air, this is one of those things that we might see declines in other areas, but this one has steadily climbed the number of sexual assault cases that are making it to the docket. So is there any one thing that you look at or that you think of that may be exacerbating this number, why we see a rise in them, in cases?
Well, I think that the myths we have around sexual assault still really keep people from understanding consent, feeling shameful about it, and coming forward. And the fact that predominantly it's someone we know, someone we trust, we bring into our life.
Right.
And that's really super confusing because we all imagine it to be, someone that attacks us in a parking garage, but that's not true.
I was just noticing some of the days we're going to celebrate, and one of them is my little black dress doesn't mean yes. One of the biggest things that I see, so many people assume that people bring sexual assault on themselves.
Absolutely. So I'm glad you mentioned the little black dress because that is what the message is there is often it's about what were you drinking, how were you dressed, how did you present that you wanted this, and that implies consent. And so we're trying to dismantle that and to get people to think about consent as, not these myths. She says no, but she really means yes.
Right.
Things like that. And that really perpetuates what we see for our sexual assaults. It's often like, something like that is underlying where the sexual assault began.
The number that stands out to me is 80% of sexual assaults are visited upon or committed by the perpetrator, someone we know. It's
yes.
Circle. That surprised me. That number, that 80% of the people, and that's not, and we have changed our mindset. It's not just children.
Right.
This is grown people that they already know who the perpetrator of this crime is. And that leads me to ask, is the stigma still there? We talked about with Chuck just now with what you wear. We talked about alcohol. They always throw that in there. Well, you shouldn't have been there, son, right there. Is the stigma of this crime still placed heavily on the victim?
Oh, absolutely. The victim needs to prove that they're a victim, that this actually happened, which is not, we don't see that in any other crime where they need to prove that they're the victim. But that is with this. And often they can be having pressure from family members. It could be, somebody that they trust in their neighborhood, an apartment, a friend that has been over often. And they would never imagine that happening with that person. And the myth also is often people are saying like, I would never believe that person could do that. I've been around them. They would never do that. But honestly, like they're not going to present in that way. I mean, like that person didn't bring them into their home thinking they were going to rape them.
Right. Most definitely. Now, what Family Support Services is doing is put together a series of events to raise awareness about this horrendous crime. They started on April 5th with their Teal Day. Everybody wear teal. Today, the Starred by Believing question and answer panel will take place at West Texas A&M University at the Legacy Hall from 6 to 7 p.m. Michelle, what can people expect if they attend this tonight?
There's going to be providers that can offer support. We'll have a table there as well, just giving information. There's a panel of experts. I'll be there on the panel where we're going to discuss it. And it's really going to come from the perspective of more dating violence within the college campus population, which we know is incredibly underreported.
Hotbed. It's a hotbed. Other events taking place will be an internship fair. That'll be April 13th from 11 till 2. A nonprofit fair on the 20th from 12 until 3. Fun in the Sun will take place April 23rd from 2 p.m. until 5 p.m. at the south end of San Jacinto Park. April 26th is Denim Day in support of Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Everybody wears denim on that day. And then, of course, the 27th is My Little Black Dress Does Not Mean Yes. It's 7 p.m. at the Royal Bar, located at 2646 Wolfland Avenue. And remember, be that advocate in someone's life. If you see something you don't think it's quite right, if someone's trying to tell you something, take time to listen and hear. This is one of the few crimes victim carries more stigma than the person who perpetrated
Right.
the crime. Change that in our minds.
And if I can just add that if anyone has a question about it, is trying to figure out what they want to do, if they've been sexually assaulted, they need support, they can call our hotline 806-374-5433 and we can help them. And our office is moving on Monday.
Yep.
We're at a new location and they can walk in as well. So this week we won't have open doors from Wednesday on, but we'll open new doors on Monday. And they're welcome to just drop in and find out how we can support them.
The great job that Family Support Services does in our community. Don't forget, tonight, starting at 6 p.m., it's the Start by Believing question and answer panel. They're going to take on some of the questions about date situations, relationship situations where we know that predator's right there next to you. It'll be at Legacy Hall. And for more information on all the events in support of Sexual Assault Awareness Month, go to the Family Support Services website. Miss Michelle, great job as always. Thank you for what you guys do.
Oh, thank you for partnering with us. We really appreciate it.
Anytime. Anything you need, you got it. All right.
Thank you.
It's Sexual Assault Awareness Month. This month, go to their website, kgncnewsnow.com, for a list of activities that you can